Have you ever had a gut feeling that you were in danger? I got home and immediately something felt wrong, which scared me because 3 houses on my street had been broken into that month. I stood in the doorway listening but heard nothing except my own breathing. The coat rack looked like it had been moved slightly to the left, but I told myself I was being paranoid. I stepped inside and noticed my mail wasn't on the entry table where I'd left it this morning but spread across the floor. My heart started beating faster as I picked up the envelopes, telling myself maybe the cat had done it, except I didn't have a cat. The living room looked normal at first glance, but then I saw the couch cushions were wrong. The middle one switched with the left one. Someone had moved them and tried to put them back. My mouth went dry as I walked further into the room and saw the TV remote on the coffee table pointing the wrong direction. The curtains were open wider than I'd left them this morning. There was a glass on the side table I didn't remember leaving there. I tried to convince myself I was imagining things, but my body knew better. The kitchen was next, and I could see from the doorway that the drawers weren't fully closed. The knife block had been turned, and I could see the biggest knife was missing. My laptop bag was on the counter where I'd left it, but the zipper was open. Someone had been through my things, and my hands started shaking as I realized they might still be here. I needed to get out, but my phone was upstairs in my bedroom where I'd forgotten it this morning in my rush to work. The landline was in the kitchen on the wall, but I'd have to cross the open space to get to it. I stood frozen, and that's when I heard it, a creak from upstairs, the floorboard outside my bedroom that always made that exact sound. Someone was up there right now, moving around in my room, and I was trapped between them and the front door. Another creak, closer to the stairs now, and I could hear drawers being opened in my bedroom. I had to make a decision fast. I moved as quietly as possible toward the kitchen, reaching for the phone on the wall. My hand was inches from it when I heard footsteps on the stairs, heavy and not trying to be quiet anymore. I grabbed the phone, but my fingers were shaking too badly to dial, and I dropped it, the handset clattering against the wall. The footsteps stopped, and I knew they'd heard me. I picked up the phone again and managed to dial 9, but then heard rapid footsteps coming down the stairs, and I ran for the back door. It was locked, and my keys were in my purse in the living room, and the footsteps were getting closer, crossing the living room now. I ran to the pantry and squeezed inside, pulling the door almost closed but leaving a crack to see through. The kitchen light flicked on, and I saw a man I didn't recognize wearing dark clothes and gloves, looking around slowly. He picked up the phone I'd dropped and hit the receiver, ending my partial 911 call. He said out loud, "I know you're here. I heard you come in." He opened the refrigerator and looked behind it, then checked under the sink, getting closer to my hiding spot with each step. I could smell his cologne, something sharp and chemical, and hear his breathing as he passed inches from my hiding spot. I held my breath as he walked past the pantry toward the back door, checking if it was still locked, giving me a clear path to run. I waited until he was facing away, then burst out of the pantry and ran for the living room. He shouted and chased after me, but I was already at the front door, grabbing the handle, turning it, but it wouldn't open. The deadbolt was locked, and I needed the key, and my purse was on the floor, and I dropped to grab it. His footsteps pounded closer as I dug through my purse, lipstick and gum falling everywhere, looking for my keys. I found them at the bottom and stood up, fumbling with the keyring, trying to find the right key in the dark. He was right behind me now, and I jammed the key at the lock but missed, my hand shaking too badly. I tried again and got it in, but it wouldn't turn. It was the wrong key, and I felt his breath on my neck. I screamed and tried another key, but it was too late. His hand wrapped around my wrist and twisted hard, the keys falling with a metallic crash. His other arm went around my throat from behind, and he whispered, "Stop fighting or this gets worse," and I could feel something sharp pressing against my ribs through my shirt. Full story on the channel below.